Hello and welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show on a very special evening. It is. My special guest tonight is Andrew Marr.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. Powered by KFC. More power to your elbow.
It's good to see you, Andrew. Now, Andrew is a long-time friend and a great member of our community here in the Discord. And of course, we've been doing commentary for quite a while on Podbean and things like that over the years. Andrew,
I have my commentator's hat on.
Exactly.
This is for Jess, because Jess didn't wear any kind of headgear the other week, and I was very disappointed, and I cried. That much.
So this is the man that always asks the great questions, that winds everybody up in the chat, and has Jessica have it in stitches usually when he comes back. And WA Legend says, who? Exactly, who? Well, you're going to find out tonight. But it's good to see everybody in the chat. Get your questions ready for Andrew. I'm sure he knows the answer to all of the things you're going to ask him. And tonight I have named it.
AFC is the answer to everything.
I have put the headline on it saying you are a wet weather expert. So,
absolutely, yes.
With that in mind, we have a great race tonight because I want you to analyse my wet weather driving because I did a race speed today. And it's in the Subaru, and it's fantastic. It's the Red Bull Ring, and it's on the short track. So with all this latest technology, hopefully it will work, and hopefully there's another race coming up as well in a little while. But this one,
if you can get the technology to work,
it will work. I'm sure it will work. Just like the good old days of the BBC when they lose sound or audio or whatever else. I'm sure it will work.
It's like earlier when you were using that hammer. And a big piece of slate and a shovel, and that's pretty much what you were doing, wasn't it, to get the computer to work for you? I noticed the technology, you've kept up with it.
Absolutely.
Sparking.
Andrew's going to keep an eye on the comments because I'm going to put this in full screen, so hopefully you can see it completely there. So let us know if you can see it nice and clearly, and hopefully the video and the audio will be working well. So this is the race at Red Bull Ring, the short version. And Andrew is going to analyse how well it went.
Well, it looks kind of wet. As the wet weather expert, I'm 30 years of living in North Wales, where it's a little bit wet, and also I had a shower earlier, so I know what water's like. Terrible stuff, gets everywhere. You need to put KFC grease on everything to waterproof it. It works brilliantly.
That's it. That's good enough for me.
Whoa.
So here we are. Now the first race I did. I actually forgot, and I didn't realise that you put on the wet weather tyres. And I was like on intermediate.
Yes.
So I was nowhere.
So the first tip, Hugh, I'm going to give you as a wet weather expert is in the wet, put wet weather tyres on. You should do that every time. Yeah.
That will come off in a second.
Every time.
So
there's Hugh in his banana car doing very well to stay on the track, considering he's. I don't know. Oh, I think you are this time. Make your mind up. You said you weren't. I don't know.
The first time I did the race.
Oh, we've got the first. Okay, I first want to say hello to Adama Banana. Thank you very much. And we've got Keith will own you, but particularly Jerry NFC1 saying mildly moist. The first person to use a rude word. Mildly moist. Yes, and we've got somebody I don't recognise. Cars IR9.
He's Cars IR9 is very fast.
How dare he? Oh, look, you're going off. What are you doing? Stop it. Oh, you're going to the inside. You're in fourth. He's got his foot down. All you can see is headlights.
Yeah, and my Subaru.
Yeah. Oh, and he's got a penalty, and it ain't you. Woohoo.
Yeah, for once. This is quite a tricky corner.
It's I hate that corner. I hate that corner.
You can take a little bit of curve, but not too much.
Yes.
A lot of people were braking really late, but this is another good corner. Oh, he went straight into the wall there.
Headbutt. Bang, yes. That's another thing that happens in the wet. He goes straight into Armco all the time.
Yeah.
I notice these things because I'm an expert with wet weather. Can't you tell? You've got it. What's your penalty for now? Is it because you were eating while driving? Was it the KFC?
It was a bit of corner cutting. As we came through.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's an interesting couple of corners at the end of the lap.
Yeah.
You can go faster than I thought when I first started doing the Red Bull Ring. into the last but one turn, and you can't go as fast into the next one, and then you get overconfident and you slide straight off. That's how it goes. It's brilliant. Whereas this one, you always think you should be going faster, and then you find you can't get round the corner. Brilliant. Yep. That's also in the wet. That happens. Yes.
So this was a good one. We were both here with a half-second penalty, and I was catching and just managing to try and keep up. And we're almost podium, neck and neck as we come through the point where we're going to be taking our penalty. But the guys behind are far enough away so that they're not risking anything. Look, they're
fighting each other. You've ghosted, you're slowing down, and you... Is it me, or did you slow down more than the other fella? That's no good.
Sure. Well, we both had half-second penalties.
Yeah, they...
I was a bit tighter on this right-hand corner, so that kind of worked quite well. And look, and now up in the second place.
Second? It's almost like you can drive and stuff. That's amazing. I think it's got nothing to do with your driving talent. It's definitely everything to do with you driving a banana car, because we've seen you in banana cars before. Anything that looks like French custard, you're really fast in. It's because it's covered in, it's not bacon grease, it's KFC.
There we go. Now, I hope my other videos work as well, because we've got a classic if it does. So well, this hopefully it will manage to work.
So, Richie's telling us that I'm much louder than you, so I will reduce my volume using my wet weather skills. Let's try that. Okay, Richie, how's that going? I've turned it down a bit. Give us a go. Tell us.
There we go.
Jerry says wetter than moist. It is wetter than moist. It is a minor flood.
Yeah. Well, I put it onto my Logitech webcam. That might be better, actually. Might be better. That's better.
Can barely hear you, Richie says. Sort yourself out, Hat-Trick. What's going on? Oh, you're doing very well here. Very well. It's almost like you're enjoying yourself in this weird driving game. See, since you started beating me over the head with this sim racing stuff, and I've started doing it, obviously I'm so good that I don't want to put anybody else at risk by beating them. You know, that's the point.
Modesty.
Well, no, just lying. I'm just making it up. Huey's very low. So I'm fine, and you're very low. So can you turn yours up, Mr. Huey?
Why is mine still low? Is it? Oh, okay.
It's what you're saying.
Sure.
My mic is awesome. This is my mic. Incidentally, while we're here, it's been a long time since this T-shirt has been on telly. It used to be my T-shirt of choice.
That's better. Try that then. Is that better?
I have no idea.
Hopefully, I've turned it right up for my mic volume, so hopefully it's working.
Maybe put the mic a little bit closer to your gob.
I think it's actually this one, to be fair, my camera one. It normally picks up pretty well, so hopefully that's working.
Oh, that is better. That is better. That sounds better to me.
Working? Oh, that's good. Okay, I've turned it right up. Excellent. So here we are. We're still in second place with 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go.
I was trying to catch up to the guy in first place. Look, I've just done a very quick sector there.
Considering you've got to watch those. David Coulthard keeps telling you to watch those white lines in the wet, but you're doing very well. It's very good.
I'm definitely going to do more of these. Let us know in the comments what you think of this race, and if you've done it, let us know what kind of times you've done. I know that Cars IR9 has done a 1 minute and 1.9, I think it is. So literally a fraction away, a fraction quicker. So I definitely want to get back and do a bit more.
Yes, you need to practice. But you see, you breaking your foot off has helped because you're braking lighter in the wet. That's also a wet weather thing you need to be able to do. You need to brake earlier, but not so hard.
Yeah.
Ta-da! I can talk a good game. It's brilliant, isn't it? And you're on your final lap. Will Hat-Trick catch up with Roy McCroy Eskerkid, the other fella from Spain? Will he get there? Will he get there? Will he get there? Let's do the Russian accent for a minute. He likes this one. Will he get there? I don't know. Maybe he have AK-47 on a missile and destroy him. Pew! Death race. I don't know. Oh, penultimate corner. He's not. He's always stayed on. No, but you stayed on. Very good. Yeah. Oh, and it's the sprint to the line. Sprint to the line. Ooh, and you came very good.
It's a great picture, though. I have to say, great shot.
And the crowd goes wild.
So there you are. So that's one, which I think went rather well. So I'll exit full screen there, and I will get rid of that one. Remove from studio.
We've got WBA legend coming out with stuff here. Yes, early but not so hard is not something you hear a lot.
But
when you get to my age, mate, it's something you hear all the time.
You know. So now you've got a quick minute or two to ask Andrew what he knows about wet weather racing. Come on, I want you to ask him all the questions that you've been preparing.
Obviously, the best wet weather racer in the world ever is Jackie Stewart.
Ah, interesting.
Well, he was the original Regenmeister at the Nordschleife. A lot of people don't know that, apart from everyone that knows about his career. Or anything older than 2 minutes. I will not stop complaining. It's what I do. It's a hobby. We've all got to have one. Anyway, so he was in a race and they was going to cancel the race because it was that wet, and he won by something like 4 minutes. and all the gyms going, the Regenmeister, he's very good, yeah. Like this. I don't know if they did that. No. So he's very good. I was watching a video by a fellow called Peter Windsor, who used to run the Williams racing team, I think in the 90s, something like that.
I remember that.
He's got quite a good channel. He's okay. But what I like is when he's analysing the driving, because I find that quite interesting. And he was the one that first told me about, he's got a cowboy hat on, his little man, Verstappen, the braking traces of Verstappen. Where he actually he starts braking earlier, brakes more gently, but carries more speed into the corner, but with more control because it settles the car. So instead of that sort of dive on the brakes and then come off and everything's a bit... Apparently he does that. And I tried that on my little pad, my little steering pad, and it definitely helped me stop crashing into things. I didn't go any faster, but at least I didn't crash. That was good.
Now, Jerry asked a good question. Yeah. I heard a lot of people say that Jimmy Clark was the best in the wet.
I was coming to that. Yes, Jackie Stewart was the first Regenmeister. However, the Jim Clark, who Jackie Stewart considers to be the greatest racing driver ever, he was pretty special. Jackie Oliver, who was one of their compatriots in the day, he'd never driven on the Nordschleife. And so Jimmy Clark, who was a lovely bloke, as you know, said, follow me, I'll show you the lines. So Jackie Oliver, Formula One racing driver, but new, was following Jim Clark around the Nordschleife, and he was keeping up with him. And in the interview I saw with Jackie Oliver, he was saying, I was thinking, I'm doing really well. I'm keeping up with Jimmy Clark on the Nordschleife. Anyway, 2 laps and Jimmy got bored. 3 corners later, he couldn't see him anymore. And he's like, oh, maybe I wasn't then. I was keeping up with Jimmy Clark going really slow just for me. Yeah. Special, very special. So wet weather racing. It's crazy because you get weird anomalies because it's less to do with the aerodynamic efficiency of a car, isn't it? It's to do with the mechanical efficiency of a car in F1. Mm-hmm. And you get those weird ones like Hülkenberg qualifying on pole in the wet early in his career, and confusing everybody because he didn't do anything else again. Weird stuff happening, Monaco in the wet. You get the likes of a young Mr. Senna, just destroying everybody in the field in a crappy car. And you go,
Portugal. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah, incredible.
And then the race you were at, of course,
1993 at Donington Park, European. That was phenomenal.
And what was it called? The Lap of the Gods.
Yep. The European Grand Prix. I'll never forget it. It was just incredible.
He was just driving around people, and the people were like going,
but
what?
One of the best things.
Where?
It was the traction control that I remember, because we saw them come out of the chicane, and as they accelerated, it kind of went, you could feel the restraint on the engine. as it was accelerating, and then they would eventually get a clear path of power to head off. It was phenomenal.
And it's that feathering the throttle and the lightness of touch, as opposed to, which you do hear a lot, lightness of touch. And so, yeah, it's... When it's, I mean, Formula One's kind of brutal, isn't it? In the sense that you've got to put so much brake pressure on and everything's so... It's snappy. So, you've got hundreds and hundreds of horsepower on something that weighs as much as a 20p coin, and you put your foot down and boom, it's gone. And then you get the likes of Senna, who had such a feel for the car.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know how someone can do that. I certainly haven't got anything like the reactions to be able to do stuff like that. So he was just special. So we've had a question from...
oh, yes. Senna at Silverstone in 1992. I remember watching that. Because I was watching it on Sky at the time with Jonathan, and the wet, it was an incredible wet qualifying, and commitment to maggots was something else. And I think eventually, now I think was that the year where I think Mansell started second, and maybe even Senna got pole, either that or Patrese got pole, but so he had to overtake them on the first lap, which he did because it was a sunny day on the race day, and he had that Williams was an incredible car. But that would have been incredible to see Senna in those days. I mean, it's just, I think that is, everyone looks on that kind of era as incredible, as one of the best. But actually nowadays, to be fair, I think Hamilton in that race at Fuji in 2007 was incredible.
Hamilton's always confused me. He was always, because I mean, I followed Hamilton's career from when he came in 2007 and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not a sort of a Hamilton fanboy. There's a lot of stuff he gets up to that I just think is a bit of a Burke, but he can really drive. I mean, he really can. But I get a bit confused with the wet weather stuff. It's like at Hockenheim. The Nürburgring a couple of years ago. Or was it Hockenheim? I can't remember. The one where everyone was coming off.
He started.
And
that was another one. Yeah,
that was another one. Everyone's coming off, and even Verstappen came off, and they all went on that little bit of drag strip that they got, and they just because it was just like ice, because you get that mix of the rubber and the fuel and the water, and it just no good. Yeah. Well. Yeah. He made mistakes, and I've seen him make mistakes over the years while people are saying, it's fantastic in the wet. And he is good in the wet. But I've always been mildly disappointed at the mistakes he made, which is nuts. I know it's nuts because he's doing an amazing job in a very difficult car. But as good as he is, I wouldn't put him in the same category as Senna, because Senna in the wet just didn't make mistakes, did he?
Hardly any. I mean, and he was very good very early on.
And to be fair, so was Hamilton. He was just a bit nuts. He went all out too much too early, and so he didn't get his world championship. That's what happened.
I'm trying to think if Senna started in 84 or 83 for his Formula One career. If it was 84, then he actually won in his first year, which was almost unheard of.
No, he didn't win it. He didn't win in his first year. He nearly won in his first year. He was second at Monaco.
In Monaco, see, that was incredible. Yeah, that was an amazing race. But that was
so to answer Richie's question about what you think about the current wet weather specialists in the now, I would almost rate Verstappen slightly higher than Hamilton, but both of them are streets ahead of most others in the current generation. But then Hamilton, who confuses me again the other way. Remember, it wasn't last year, was it? It was the year before, where everyone keeps talking about how the German race was this amazing race, but it was just, to me, as a crash fest, it was just carnage. People saying it was all exciting. Well, that's not what excites me. I can see people smashing into things by watching YouTube, Fail Army or something like that. I don't need to watch Formula One for that. I want to see skill. The British Grand Prix that year, however, we've talked about this on this show, the British Grand Prix that year, where Hamilton carved through the field and where he's overtaken the likes of Ricciardo, and it was a masterclass at Silverstone in the wet, and he really was streets ahead of everybody else. It's like that day, everything that he's good at with wet weather driving just came together. Superb. Like what they're saying.
When was SGP Oh yeah, in which Hamilton lapped almost everyone. I know that one. I think
that was right near the
2008, was it not?
Beginning of his career. Yeah, I remember that's where people were swapping end going down the back straight and stuff like this. Do you remember? Yeah. And he nearly crashed as well because it got so wet he just aquaplaned.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep up with some of these. Senna at Silverstone, we had that one.
And Jerry said Mansell was on pole at Silverstone 92, but Betrezi beat him off the line. But Mansell soon took him off, overtook him again.
Mansell's a funny one, isn't he? Because
I loved Mansell. I even had the Mansell driving gloves. He was just from 91, 92 in that area. It was incredible.
It just the thing I liked about Nigel is that I think the word bombastic, gutsy, big kahunas. You know, the guy what year was it? He was driving with a broken back.
It's like 87, maybe. 87 for Williams. Yeah,
maybe. You see, just in the same way that you use special power from KFC, he used special power from that caterpillar he had on his mush. Ferret face or whatever it's called. But yeah. And he almost bullied the car. You will get round this corner. You will do as you'll do as you're told, or else. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I'll do as you're told, or I'll have you. Go on. I'll hit you with a golf club. And yet, when they had that, what was that? They sort of tried a new series a number of years ago now. The something F1.
I was just.
Which celeb who?
I was just waiting to see when you read that.
And do you know the answer? Because I think you do.
Me?
Do you know the answer who I would pick?
Kate Beckinsale.
She's in the top 3, but she's not number 1.
Oh, it's the lady from...
it was her birthday on Monday. Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
She was her birthday on Monday. Not that I'm stalking her or anything like that. She came out with my favourite threat on film from that wonderfully funny film, Mr. Right, where right at the beginning she yells at her 2 friends who are trying to get her out of this closet where she's got drunk and she's only been drinking for 2 days and she's wearing her favourite socks. And then she goes, "One of you hussies is getting fisted." And every time I just go, it's just so unexpected. You just wouldn't expect it. It's brilliant.
No.
Anyway,
let's get back.
What was I saying? Mansell, yeah. They did a series for old geezers. I can't remember what it was called. It was like sort of F1 cars and
champions, wasn't it? Like the world,
something.
Yeah,
champion F1. I don't know what it's called. But you had not Patrese, Nelson Piquet, who obviously Nige didn't get on with, and all this kind of stuff. Now Nelson was a 3 times world champion and
GP Masters.
Good lad. GP Masters, that's what it was. No, Andrew, don't be rude.
Oh, it's hilarious tonight. Hilarious.
And you got Nige was in it, and of course he only got 1 world championship, English. And he peed all over PK in that GP Masters. He was just so much better. He ran away. And they're all in equal cars. They're the same chassis. An engine. And it's like, so he wasn't just to sort of bully the car around. He also had some serious skill, you know?
Yeah.
Good guy. Nice.
Would you like to see another race, everybody? Now, this one, I can't, unfortunately, it's not in the wet, but it is in the dry. And it's the race A, if it works. Will we try it? Race A, hopefully.
Where's Scotty and Jess? Why aren't they on here? Why aren't they asking me stupid questions? Anna Kendrick.
There we go.
It's because she has the perfect breasts.
Now, here
Anna
we go.
Kendrick.
I'm in 5th place, and I will put this on full whack. There we go.
Here we go. Are you going to catch them up? This is the Countach. No, no one knows how to say that properly.
Well, this is just a warm-up, actually, to be fair.
Okay. And there you are, going around the corner. I tell you what, this wet weather is brilliantly dry.
I managed to make it disappear.
This is the kind of wet weather we need in Wales.
If I put the sound on, so unfortunately I have changed it now. So the next one, the music won't be on, and we'll get the sound of the engine. But on this one, unfortunately, it wasn't. And I had it on. I think I had it on traction 1, possibly on this.
Yeah, you were saying about traction 1 earlier. Yes.
And brake balance +1. So I make a place here as we come along. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to get all of it in, and hopefully it might not be too far.
Right, I'll just need to answer a question, Mr. Legend. The rain is in Spain because it's mainly on the plain, and this is in the mountains, so you haven't got any. Sorry.
So I was at 1, and then I lost 1.
So you're 12.
Oh, there's lots of crashing out of my head.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the engine noises for you.
See, everybody went by there.
Oh, the banana car is jealous of you. What colour's your car this time, Hugh?
Black, I think. I can't remember. That was a really tricky corner because it
had a lift with a fella in an Austin Princess once who thought that his car was really fast because, and I quote, it's black. But it was an Austin Princess, so it's like cheese with wheels.
No, I'm in a slipstream.
You're in a slipstream.
Just about.
And you can hear the cars in your head.
Yeah, a big old Lamborghini. They had V12 engines, did they not?
Oh, they did. Of course they did. Oh, yes. Seen the inside of one of those.
And I get touched by the guy behind.
They're all right.
And I just managed to...
white one. Oh, I had the poster of that car. And I had a poster of a black Quattro.
Oh, yeah, the QV. That was quite a rare one. That'd be worth a bit of money now.
Now, Harry's Metcalf from Harry's Garage, he has a red one. And apparently the gearbox isn't as bad as you think. It's just, you got to look after him.
Yeah.
And he takes his cars. He's got 2 Lambos. One of them's the Countach, and the other one is the one I can never remember the name of. But it's like a coupe. It's a 2+2 coupe. It's very nice.
Was that the Miura? Is that not the Miura?
No, the Miura was the original mid-engine supercar. Beautiful. Unfortunately, front-end lifts above 80 mile an hour. So as it was the fastest car in the world at the time and did about 170, got a bit dangerous. The Miura is the one that crashes gets killed. The guy gets killed at the beginning of the Italian job. Coming through the tunnel, that's a Miura. It's very nice. JK from Jamiroquai, he has a one, and he don't speak like that. He's from London, isn't he? London, right? So you've crashed 2 people. I mean, you've got past them.
Yeah, they went off,
and they're going on, and all the 2 white ones are trying to have a bit of a kiss. Oh, and he's pushed him off. He's doing that a lot, mate.
Yeah, he was the one that hit me.
Steve, I've seen him before. He's taken you off in other races. Steve, blah, blah, Italian man. He's Roman. He's definitely from Rome. You can tell by the way he drives. You never see a Roman car without a dent in it.
So you put a chill brake a little bit in.
Yes. They're getting a bit of lift off, get a bit of weight transfer in these because that's a big lump in the back. So a big lump in the back. But it's a transaxle gearbox, so it's a bit more central than you think. I mean, Harry.
And so we head on up. It was actually a little bit easier to drive than I thought. I really quite enjoyed the streets.
A bit narrow going into that corner. Yeah. But you managed to you got the brakes. How were the brakes on it? Were the brakes a bit naff?
The brakes are really, really bad. That's what Tisdale and Theo warned us all that you've got to really brake quite early because...
I said that earlier. I said that. Oh, Racer 14 Guinness Lounge Racer. You really need to get a nickname. I'll call you Ruggler. Ruggler because it's Racer Guinness Lounge. I'll call you Fred.
It's good to see you. I'm afraid I can't see the comments just now because we've got this on full screen. But Andrew can. So,
I can see them because I have 2 screens. 2 screens. I have this screen, which is my telewelly, and I've got this screen, which is not my telewelly. It is a plugged in. I'm Italian again. What's going on? You get past him there. Yeah, so the brakes on this, I think it's braking by telegram, isn't it?
Yeah. You send a note.
You send the note. Written by the Queen. Note from the Queen saying, I want to stop now.
Oh, see, he touched him there. And
he's touching everybody. How does he get away with this?
And I'm thinking, try and keep out the way.
You did well to back off a bit there, mate, because that would have been bad.
Well, I was just trying to keep out the way a bit, and then
let me see. So, of course, it used to be Grosjean, and
this is so tricky.
K-Mag. Now it's Nikita Marzipan, who are the people you've got to watch out for. Back in the day, it was the Japanese drivers at the back. Takuma, not Sato, Nakajima. He was pretty good at taking people off.
Yeah. No, I did touch him slightly, but it was really more because we were both running quite wide at the end of that last corner.
Did he get upset with you?
I didn't really slow him down at all. I mean, I got through because I was quicker. You can put in a comment about that.
Is this going to be like a steward's inquiry? You're going to have me and John inquiring
you just come
with the
straight
stewards.
into me. There he goes. Bump.
Yes. Sore loser.
But I just managed to keep it there.
Oh, that's a different one. So him hitting you meant he lost a place back to the other white one that he'd already taken off earlier.
Yeah. There was all sorts of...
Right. Darren Turner, the man...
Darren. Good to see you,
The man who I followed the advice of by switching off all of my things, ABS, traction control, stuff, so that it's really difficult so I can learn how to drive. Good lad.
And there we go.
It's a man who's still not recovered from the last time he was on this show with you and me. Poor fella.
On our podcast.
I've nearly sent him a wreath. Or some Valium, something to just... I mean, bless him. He just wasn't prepared. He was thinking, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be like Hugh's normal...
Easy.
normal interviews where he asks questions and things get answered. And then it wasn't.
It wasn't like that at all.
It wasn't like that at all.
There you go. I'll come out of that one. Fantastic.
Excellent race. You should have been further up the field. That Italian, the one in the Countach. Countach. It's not a sh, is it? Countach.
There we go. Dan says he never turned the ABS off.
I'm sure he did. Or was it traction control? Whatever it was, I turned them all off anyway.
You turn the traction control off in certain cars, but not all the ABS.
All of them.
You want to have the ABS on.
What's really funny is when you have a 990 horsepower Chevy Nova and you've turned all of that stuff off and you try and go around a twisty circuit. Hilarious. Ask Richie. One of the funniest things I've ever seen is Richie doing what I just said. We were on like the PlayStation thing and I was watching him and I think I peed myself laughing, actually. It was hilarious. He wasn't even trying to... he was dead good and then he just went... How many times did you actually manage to spin? I mean, like in a single spin, Richie? Was it... Not like how many times in a lap, but how many times in one pirouette? I'll just put it in the comments, please, Richie. I think it was probably 27.
Yeah.
It might not have been. I might be lying there. You never know. So what we're doing now, Hugh?
Right, now I'm going to try and get this one that we did before.
Francois. Yes, I'm French.
Now,
sounds like some kind of cruet set. Spun in a straight line.
Hang on. I will make sure that is off.
A fella I knew from Tyneside once, and I've told you about this lake. It's from Seaham. You know where Seaham is?
Uh-huh.
You know where Seaham is, lad, because it's kind of like near where you are. And you got to get a lick. Say it because you squeak. And what you got to do is, Andy, he said, Andy, these racing drivers, are they circulating on the street?
Oh, hang on. I need to do my thing here. Where are we? Yeah, there we are. That's it.
You've got a circulate on a street, and then you've got a streety lake on a circuit. No?
There we go. Now, where is the thing to play?
It's the banana car, my favourite. Now, this is rear-wheel drive and mid-engine, and not a Megane in any way. It's like a Group B Megane. Imagine you get a Peugeot Turbo 2 and you stick a Renault badge on it. That's what this is.
Hang on.
In this race, we see the incredible skill of having bananas, custard, and KFC in a French car.
Can I get it to work? Come on.
I'm thinking I made a vid of what I consider the worst car in the game, and no, it's not the Red Bull. Okay. Can't even handle super softs. Is it a 990 horsepower Chevy Nova at Adama? Adama.
Let me just check. Hopefully this is working.
I say Adama because I keep thinking of Battlestar Galactica. I'm expecting him to say, Starbuck, go and do something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll just take a wee minute and then we'll be ready for this is our star race of the night.
Yep, I'll just keep wittering. I'll do that. Hansa, hello. Hansa's here. Hansa,
good to see you, Hansa.
Mil.
Hopefully this should be working.
7 people watching. Only 7? What happened to the 50-odd when you get really interesting guests on like me?
It's supposed to be. Come on. Oh,
he'll do it one day. Hit it with a hammer.
There we are. That's it.
Hey,
right, there we go.
So
now, I will put this into full screen so we can see it all.
He's in the penultimate position. Is it penultimate? He's near the back.
Yeah.
8 watching. Hello, 8 watching. Woo,
right,
wherever you
here
are.
We go. Much better quality. This is working now. Hopefully it's coming loud and clear. So this was the race from last week, which was race C. Which we've really enjoyed, actually. Had
now,
great time
keep an eye on this Jag and this Aston because they just love each other. They are, and Mr. Hugh, again, we can do the engine noises. That's the Aston. That's the Renault because it's French, no? And you got that, actually, the Megane would be going like that because it's French.
So we're all on the grass. We're all look
look at him. Well, now everybody else goes on the grass. Yes.
And just managed to keep it back on.
You're just jealous of Taya because she likes pink things, or you thought it was Scotty's rig because his rig looks like that. Frankly, it's all pink, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, he's got
it is very snazzy.
Now I had dirt on my tyres, so I had to slow down a lot there. I'm back by the Aston as we go through, but this is a great race.
Is this after you got punted back off and made a bit of a mess? Yes, and then
a bit of a last. How far can we go?
He's doing it what I call a hat trick, which is his first lap is he goes crazy and then crashes into someone and then has to calm down, take his Valium, have a couple of swigs of whiskey and half a KFC, and then he's okay again. And then he does stuff like this where he just powers past people. I mean, honestly, there's a move that comes up later which is frankly astonishing in the banana skill that goes on, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're not too far away from that. So
great job.
We're up into 16th place. Now, the good thing about the Renault was that it was good on its tyres. It was much better on its tyres, and people, surprisingly, even in the C lobbies, were going out on these front-wheel drive cars and the four-wheel drive cars, and they've got no chance because their tyre wear is just horrendous. But as you can see, look at how many people there are in front of me there.
Yes, but it's great slipstream. And you got a wing. I mean, you could fly past them, presumably.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It's doing well. It's got a good balance, that car, hasn't it?
It was really nice to drive. I really enjoyed it. I could have done that for more than 1 week, to be fair.
It's not tail happy slappy. It doesn't understeery weird. It's nice. Neutral handling, as Mika Hakkinen called the McLaren that he won his first 2 World Championship, the Adrian Newey McLarens, the most neutral handling car he'd ever driven at the time. Oh, no, Mika Hakkinen, he's mad. But look, you're so much better. Your lines there, you're hitting the apexes, and you've lined them up. You lined them up.
Oh,
you did a Roxy. And again, they're having it. They're having it. Out the way. Bit of artsy-bartsy. What they're doing. And here we are. We've got another banana car. His cousin. The Spanish Coque. Coque.
And there we are.
Coque. 1971. Coca-Cola.
There we go. Now, at this point, I was thinking I might get into the top 10, maybe get possibly top 8.
And then you did.
Yeah, because the thing was, you couldn't afford to take a pit stop because you'd lose so much time. It wasn't.
Peter stop. Peter stop. You don't understand Peter stop.
So
I'm still disappointed. Still disappointed you didn't get one of your guests to say that for me. Would have been amazing. Right, what's this now? What's this banana powered? There's 3 banana cars. One of them is Hugh. whatever he's trying to kill the guy in the looks like it's not an Alpha in the red car. It's not an Alpha though. It's just looks nice. And here it goes. Inside one.
Yeah. Watch this.
Inside two.
Yeah.
And inside the third, swapping sides. Eat that, you lot. That's superb. I don't even think that was racecraft. That was just, I don't know.
I need to record that for my new intro video. That's the thing.
Yeah, just that series of overtakes.
Yeah.
And you're in ninth and you've got 6 laps to go. Can you do it? Can you destroy the field without shooting any of them? Yes.
So this was good in turn 1. It was quite a nice car to come through that first corner. And everybody seemed to go wide at some point round there. So it allowed me to catch up and kind of come in there. We had Lexerati and the Scirocco.
Yes. Another one, you see, they're defending and you're taking it wide. This is the racecraft. I think we're having a conversation with Scotty and JJ, young Jack Baldwin Racing, about racecraft and all this kind of stuff last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the last interview. And that is good racecraft with overtaking. You know, they're taking a tighter line. You're going wider, so you get an exit out of the last part of that combination, and then you can go past them. Though, of course, on this occasion, you didn't, because he's still in front of you.
But we're not far away. We're not far away. We're putting the pressure on.
Yeah, doing it again.
Into the hairpin.
You can't go on the outside. You can't go on the outside. Oh, no, the FIA, they'll penalise you. I'll have you.
It's kind of pushing me out a little bit, but that's all right.
They'll shoot you.
And now he's still kind of pushing me out wide, but I was on the inside. I came out to come around here, and then we go into the spoon.
Spoon.
And then I was able to catch up a little bit and try and get in his slipstream.
Spoon. Name that film, audience.
And now we're touching again down the straight. Approaching the 130.
Side by side, 130R. Who's got the balls? There's only one person I've ever seen take 130R flat out on the inside of somebody, and I believe that was that Alonso?
Yeah, I think so. So we're neck and neck right the way around the 130R, which is quite impressive.
That was very good.
Massively, and he gets a penalty.
Oh, nice car. I do like that blue though. That's. I've got an ink that I use with one of my fountain pens that is called Midnight, and it looks like that. Very nice.
People are now beginning to do pit stops. So we're making up 1 or 2 little places because
Peter stop. Here, Peter stop, and here's Peter stop,
and he's well wide. Like
his tyres have finally given up. He's had enough. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to fight.
This is the Audi, another front drive. We're just straight through his tyres. Must be absolutely knackered.
They are gone. You can turn in so much sharper. It's brilliant.
We've got a yellow flag.
Olav's here. Olav's in the house.
Hello, good to see you, Olav. Good to see you.
Excellent. Welcome.
You're watching our races that we did this week, and we're getting our commentary and analysis by Andrew Marr.
So, Olav, just to fill you in, Hugh started 17th out of 18, made up a few places in the first few corners, did his usual thing of going nuts, dropped back again, and he's now up to 6th. And we're going to see what he can do in his amazing banana car, which is French, so that it sounds like this. And that in front is a police car. Look at it, it's a police car.
It's some great liveries here.
Catching up with the filth. This Megane and the Cayman are my 2 favourite Group B cars. Cayman. That's another mid-engine one, isn't it? Cayman?
Yeah, I think some people were using that as well.
Sorry, Caps. Yeah, I saw. I've done that, Dharma. I've done it.
I can't see the comments, everyone. So it's Andrew who is reading the comments. So he's keeping up with who is in the chat.
I'm doing very well, considering I can't read.
Can we get? Could we aim for a podium or even more?
Oh, is this where I've got to pretend? Is this where I've got to pretend that I don't know what the result is?
On the grass, on the sand.
Patrick, what are you doing? You've ruined everything. Oh, no. You'll never win now.
Take the hint. I'm still smiling. You know what?
Has he ruined it? Has Lewis Patrick ruined his race by sliding off and overtaking at cops when apparently you shouldn't, because apparently you're not allowed to overtake anybody anymore, ever.
So here we are, into turn 1.
And he's up to 4th. This is very good. It's very good. It's very entertaining. Normally this sim rubbish is rubbish, isn't it? You know.
I know we get some really good races.
Do we? Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah.
So we're roughly halfway through, just over halfway. And this is when the tyres are beginning to really struggle in some of the other cars. So they're having to do pit stops. But you can see them about 3 seconds or so behind the car in front.
However, you're catching them up.
Yeah, how we're able to.
As you can see. We've got, Adama said that the Cayman is lackluster, but very user-friendly for him to play on the gamepad. So, that's some of the cars I like to just chuck around are the ones that it's often the case that the fastest cars for the people who can control them are the ones who are a bit edgy, you know. But if you've got a nice neutral handling motor, you can maybe get more out of it if you're not as skillful like me.
So
I like my little Subaru, me McRae Hutch special, which I did those videos on. The only videos I've done before I went, no one's going to be interested in this. What I liked about it is that it was forgiving and you could point and squirt. So you're catching up with the police. Bright Spark 59, Sergeant Bright Spark from Traffic.
Yeah. Now this time, can we have another go? Can we get past him and get on the podium?
Rich is laughing at me again. Oh, you're getting there. You're coming up to him.
A much better line through there.
In his draft. You're in his draft. You're drafting him. He's been drafting from the police into the army because it's a draft. And does anybody know what I'm talking about? Because I don't.
Right, now we've completed lap 5, on to lap 6. Just 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go, and you're right there. You're right there.
He's defending a little bit, just coming out right.
Oh, but you've got him. No, you haven't. Now, that's normally because you're the last of the late breakers. Normally, you would have had him there, but you didn't. That's unusual.
Yeah. And there's still people doing pit stops. Now, can I get? Because I thought I need to get through here to try and to catch up, because there was still quite a big gap. Oh, going up there.
Oh, squeezy. Almost. For some reason, every time I see Bright Spark's car, I think it's a Peugeot, but it's the same car you're driving. It's just isn't it weird? I think it's something to do with the blue stripe on the front.
Yeah, and there we go.
Hansa says, from his experience, the Megane Trophy is one of the best GR4 cars in terms of tyre wear and handling, but not so quick on the straights. What's your view of that, Mr. Hugh? Is that
I think that is, absolutely. They gave it for the BOP. I think it's had a recent adjustment. It's nowhere near as fast on the straights as other cars, but it is so good in the corners. So for these kind of races, it was perfectly suited. And even that, here we are, nearly 2/3 through the race, and my tyres are still pretty reasonable. And I'm putting all the pressure on the guy in front. Can I get through? I was hoping to try and get on the left-hand side here, just about.
Well, you've only got...
Yes.
How did you manage that? He was, to be fair, he was quite kind to you there. Maybe his tyres...
I think his tyres are maybe beginning to go.
So you managed to look after your tyres as well, which means that you're not being too aggressive on them, unless he's wearing softs, which is why he's at the front, and you're on mediums. Was it something like that?
It was fixed tyre wear.
Right. Okay.
So, it was in terms of fixed tyres. So everyone's on the same tyre.
Oh, okay. You're doing excellent.
Because you could do maybe about 130 mile an hour through it. Some people were doing a lot faster than that, but that's what I was doing. Roughly.
Adama is saying that in the recent BOP, the FFs got nerfed. So that's like French for being made number 9. Or it could mean something else. Incidentally, your car looks like a Nerf. You know, the Nerf gun. They're yellow, aren't they?
Yeah. So now I've only got 2 people in front of me, but it was still about 6 or 7 seconds covering the top 3. So I thought, 3 laps to go.
3 laps to go. You've got past. You're on the podium. Not on podium. That would be something else. You're on the podium. And I'd just like to say, I mentioned that Hansa has modified the adjective about what's happened to the FF cars. He's used another one that also has an F in it. Fortunately, because he didn't, I don't need to redact it because he's been very polite in the way. It's obvious what he means. We all get it. We understand.
That's what I do these Thursday nights for, you know.
I'm being very good. I've not sworn once yet. Normally, I'm horrible.
So there we are.
Oh, you nearly went off there. See, you're pushing. I know you're pushing. You're trying to catch him up. You're like, I'll have them. And, don't overdrive, Huey. Don't overdrive, you know what I'm saying?
I thought if I do this
you're gonna get me.
It's quite good. You see, it gives a bit more. Look at that.
I put my seat higher because I'm tall. And I'll go
you can see a bit further than me then.
Exactly.
Here we go.
That's why I like my Ford Galaxy. You could see over hedges. Great for overtaking because you could see if anyone was coming 3 corners away, and then people would have a heart attack because you'd go past them on bends, and they're like, and you can do that in the wet because I'm an expert on the wet, as you know.
So you can see on the map there on the top right-hand corner just how far behind we are. We're roughly, the first place man is already gone down the 130R coming into the chicane, and we are just approaching it now. So can we make any time? We've only got 2 laps.
2 laps.
This one to go.
Less. Yeah, 2 laps and a bit, isn't it? Oh, it's just coming up to 2 laps. Yeah. It's beginning to start the 8th lap. In a second. No Grosjeans around to knock you into the weeds. No marzipans to cake you out. Darren Turner wants to know if you've tried Monza this week, Mr. Hugh.
I haven't. I did see him briefly try Monza, and I think he was doing quite well. But I haven't. I'm not very keen on the Group 1 cars. I haven't really done much driving in them. I don't mind Group 3. I really like Group 4. But yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. Sorry, carry on.
No, I was carry on. I wasn't saying anything. I think I just made a noise.
I find them they're so fast. You've really got to be absolutely on it. And I wonder if my reactions are fast enough for Group 1 at the moment. I
found the same. Not Group 1. I've not tried them, but when I'm in like the Group 3 cars, the first time I went on there, and it was fantastic. The feeling of speed was amazing until you got to a corner and you needed to brake, and it's like, it's all happening too fast. No, and that's Group 3. So obviously, as I was saying, Mr. Ritchie, skillful like me.
I've also done the fastest lap as well. I did the.
Oh, that's a great time as well. That was a good lap. Yeah. Oh, your last lap, and you're catching up with them. And
then you see that Key did his fastest lap, and it's like a 2:08. And you think, oh well, I thought I was doing well, but that was that in the same car. Okay, it's maybe a little bit earlier on, but
that was brave. That was brave because you could have easily that could have gone very wrong. Right. And old Kevin Luis. Hello, I am Kevin Luis. They're from Spain.
Good to see you, Kevin. Welcome to the channel.
No, that's him.
Welcome to the stream.
No, the
guy. Sorry. I thought you meant it was a new
person. Says Kevin, it's on his car.
Oh, sorry. Not paying attention to that.
That's
I was looking at him.
That's what I'm here for. Plus, it's funny.
Look, number 1 must have gone wide. So now I'm in second place with the last lap to go.
Last lap to go. I'll just say quickly that Adama, Mr. Banana, has had initially planned to do a pineapple race at Monza with his second account, Adama Pineapple. Another yellow fruit. Lots of yellow involved, and they're all fast yellow.
So, watch this. They come through the essence.
I'm not going to tell you what Richie Johnson said because he's just boasting now. Just because he's quicker than me. It's not much of a boast, honestly, because it's me. I do like that first corner and this combination of corners. I've told you I like this because this is where I did my little video, whatever it was, in me McRae and Hutch special. Yeah. If anybody wants to know what that is, find my channel, watch the rubbish videos, get a bit bored, and then you'll know. Da-da-da.
Look, here we are. We're coming up.
6 videos I got on there, something like that.
Yeah, you need to make some more. Yeah. Look, you're coming into the second leg now.
What's impressive to me, and it's a last lap race, this is brilliant, is that these people in front of you didn't pit. You caught them up.
Yeah.
On the same, there you go. Oh, he was very kind.
I think he had so little tyres left because he's front drive. so his tyres are probably knackered. And but I never thought I was going to get that one.
It's good racing.
So 14 laps. So he's flashing his lights. He's trying to. He tries to come back here. Look.
So Darren says that he's not a GR1 fan, but this week has been absolutely brilliant. Richard Johnson, as much as I don't want to read this out, I'm going to because I'm a good co-host. Nature is quicker than I am, apparently. Hey, John! A political mind is in.
He's joined us.
Yes, John, he is telepathic. What he's got is he's going, and he's winding. We haven't got to the end yet. I'm not allowed to say what happens. He's winding. See, I remember this because we've seen this before. But don't tell anybody because they all think that I don't know what happens.
You're ruining the suspense, man. Ruining the suspense.
I am not. You just got over the line. I really ruined the suspense for like 4 seconds. That was a superb drive, mate. Even the entertaining stuff at the beginning.
17th, the first, and with an off as well.
I will never forget you going past all those bananas and that red car in 3 corners. That was just unbelievable. You've definitely got to make that as part of something. Yeah. Oh, I'll do that thing. I go again. I've got to stop doing that. So now we've got to the end of that race. I can ask you the following question, which is: what, in your experience of the cars you've had, has been the worst wet weather drive that you have driven? And I don't mean on sim racing. I mean in real life. What real car? Tell us a story, Jack and Ori.
I had a Citroen ZX. Now, to be fair, it probably had slick tyres. So the tyres were so knackered. And I remember having to drive down to Manchester. Thanks, John. And the Citroen cost me £100. And it lasted me over 2 years and 2 MOTs. I was amazed.
Good car, actually. I liked those.
It was brilliant. But the thing is, it was terrible in the snow. Most cars I had were quite good in the snow because they had quite thin tyres, but this had quite wide profile tyres on it, and it was awful. And in the wet, it used to float. Even though it was, I think if I'd put a proper set of tyres, it probably would have been okay. But I think my Citroen scared me the most in the wet. Also, its brakes was terrible. No ABS, so it wouldn't stop.
You don't need ABS.
They were really under servoed, so you would go for the brakes, and it just didn't seem to want to do anything.
I'm just going to say goodbye to Hansa because he's thanked us. And it's brilliant. Thanks for joining us, mate. That was really, really good of you. Cheers.
Now, to everyone who's still watching, past the MOTs for £100, and you should have seen it when it had its third one. It wasn't so good. But
I hope you'd changed the tyres by that point.
Now, we are still having. I know I left this at the very end. We have still got our Shoe Hat-Trick touring car race this Saturday. So we've done the qualifying. But if you do want to still join, you still can. You'll just be starting at the back, probably with you, to be fair. We've got 2 races going on, and it is happening at Saturday. I think it's at 9 o'clock. I think the first one starts. So it was. You can check on our Discord. The details are down in the description, or you can also see it on YouTube as well. But yeah, it'd be great to have you with us on Saturday. It's going to be an awful lot of fun. I can't wait. But what would you like to say in closing, Andrew? Well, it's been a fantastic show. I hope you've enjoyed watching our videos. The technology has just about kept up with us. But what do you reckon?
Well, that was very interesting. We had a bit of a laugh. It's nice to be back on the shoe, saying things and wearing my T-shirt. Very disappointed that I couldn't make Jess laugh. That's like my thing. That's what I do. I just want to thank everyone that's been so loyal and been so brilliant supporting the channel. Who that's that cliche, and you know who you are, but they do know where they are because we're on Discord together.
You can listen to a lot of our podcasts. They're all on Podbean, so the link is in the description. So if you'd like a bit of a laugh on a podcast,
I'd just like to point out something that Richard Johnson's pointed out, which is great because it's his job and he's finally done it. What about doing that at the beginning, eh? You didn't do it then, did you? Anyway, we've got Discord, which he's put the link up for, and the link's in the description underneath as well. Subscribe, share, and shove it up your nose. Sniff really hard, it might enter your brain.
Now, we had also we'd gotten ready our
Don't you say pre-prepared. If you say pre-prepared, I'll jump through this camera and I'll have you, because that is even worse than saying tank slapper for a car, because it's not happening.
Okay, The very thing. It's good to see you.
Loopy! Woo!
You're catching us just as we're finishing the show. So thank you to everybody who's been watching tonight. It will come out as a podcast again next week. Remember, our race series starts this Saturday at 9:00. So it's going to be great fun. And you can watch it live as well. It will be streamed out live on our channel, I think. So we'll make sure it's sorted. Jack's here.
Jack's here, finally, just at the end.
Now, what is our new motto? What is our new motto?
No, we're trying to work out something, wasn't it? So it's eat KFC if you want to go faster. That's what it was, wasn't it?
There was something else as well. I've forgotten it too.
It was definitely about KFC makes you win and lubes you up for the next corner. That's something. No, it wasn't that at all. But it was something. There was definitely something vaguely rude about using KFC grease to help you slip past people. And then there was something I should have written it down, shouldn't I? That's what I should have done. I should have written it down. But at the time, we were trying to work out computer stuff, and it was, the banging of your head on the steering wheel was getting really distracted. KFC.
This is Rue, Jack. This is the man himself.
Yes, this is Rue. Andrew. Hello.
Well, it's fantastic to see everyone tonight.
Welcome to the Car Sim and Race Driver Show. This is sponsored by our training partner, KFC. KFC makes you a win.
It's great to see you all tonight. Take care. We'll see you on Saturday for our first phenomenal hat-trick race. This HHTCR race will begin on Saturday at 9:00. Crash fast and win the race at the last corner. Well, that's hopefully.
See, John would have remembered it because he's good that way.
He would have done. Yeah, he writes everything down. So you don't.
Eat KFC and die screaming in the first corner. No? I'm sure we'll work it out.
Drive fast and try not to crash.
Try not to crash.
Bye just now, and thanks for watching. Take care.
Bye.